Hello, Patriots. This is J6 News Updates and Chat. We're going to give it a go here today. It seems like the cell phone network is just not as good as it used to be. It goes up, it goes down. We're just going to wing it. If we start just spinning for any length of period of time, for those of you who got my phone number, shoot me a text. And that was the only way I got notified yesterday. Thanks, small water guy. Or 2 days ago when the last time we did a chat here. Today's August 23rd, Friday. There's ups, there's downs. And man, yesterday was just a downer day. When we're on this roller coaster ride of freedom fighting, you know, and I remember recalling this back in the People's Convoy, how the highs are super high, but the lows are super low. Thanks, Deb Vi. Keep an eye on me. Thank you. And it's just a roller coaster ride all the time, Patriots. It's just par for the course in this battle for our country. I mean, we got everything at stake, it feels like sometimes. We don't have our spiritual our spiritual life isn't at stake here. We know we're secure. We know we're under God's protection. We're saved by the blood of Christ. There is nothing insufficient in that. And we stand strong on that. But man, here in this country right now, when we see the demonic activity that's going on in the upper levels of our government, it's staggering. And when your eyes are opened, to this, it's like right there in your face, and you just can't believe everybody else can't see it. But everybody else can't see it, and it's apparently like they're under a spell that like normal smart people just can't accept what's going on right in front of their faces, and it's staggering, man. So I haven't done an update in 2 days. Yesterday I just couldn't bring myself to do one, man. It was so depressing yesterday, all the things that have happened, and we'll go over that here shortly. Mainly, the main thing, man, my brother in Christ, David Valentine, got taken into custody yesterday as a participant in J6. As far as I know, David never even went into the Capitol building there, but David Valentine is the guy who's behind Freedom Express Media, and he was a guy that I've known since way back at the People's Convoy, and an outstanding patriot, and he just stayed in the battle for a long time. One of the longest guys that could hang with it for that long continuously. His mother and were involved with us and everything. And yesterday, apparently, David was working up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He doesn't live there. He lives down in Ohio. But found out that there was an arrest warrant, and he went and self-surrendered yesterday in Milwaukee. By the end of the day, we got word through Tammy Mundy. Thank you for getting word out on what was going on there. And that David was released. He has an arraignment in September. I'm not sure what date it is now, but he is back home. David has a young boy who is going to turn 1 year old. And it's just ironic. It's not ironic. It's demonic how the DOJ is just destroying Christian families at this point, man. And it is specifically targeted as Christian families. One of the guys in prison made, I think it was Brandon Fellows, in one of the recent interviews that he's done, mentioned how when he was in the hole, when they were in prison, they weren't letting them have religious services. But it was obvious, it was blatantly obvious that they could hear Muslim prayers going on in the rest of that prison, you know. So they weren't denying other people and other religions religious services. And to imagine being stuck in prison and not being able to have religious services or a Bible, but you can hear Muslims praying, 5 times a day or whatever they do with their prayers. And that's the insult. That's the psychological torture that they're putting the guys in the prison through. And so we're going to try to stay updated with David Valentine's plight right now. He is back at home, and he did not have to endure one of these ridiculous raids on his house and his family and all the bootjacks that just line up to partake in these raids on J6ers' houses like so many other J6ers have had to endure. Praise God for that. He was able to just, go self-surrender in Milwaukee. We don't know yet, Belinda. We don't know what David's charges are. He didn't go into the Capitol, as far as I know. He was just there. He was there on J6. And there's a lot of people that weren't even close to the Capitol. There's people that were in D.C. that day that didn't get to within a mile of the Capitol. There's people that weren't even in D.C. that have been arrested. Enrique Tarrio was arrested, got the highest prison sentence so far of 22 years, and he wasn't even in D.C. that day. This Department of Justice is out of control. It is rogue, and our Republican representatives, 85% of them are asleep at the wheel, just doing nothing to preserve our constitutional rights in this country. So I'll try to stay updated with what the charges are that David's being charged with. I can imagine it's probably going to be a stack of misdemeanors that all has to do with being on the Capitol grounds, because David was on the grounds of the Capitol, as far as I know, and that's got to be all the charges. And what they do, if some people who have just walked into the Capitol and left the Capitol, they get trespassing, and then trespassing at the Capitol, and then parading at the Capitol, and then picketing at the Capitol, and being in a restricted zone at the Capitol. They just stack on charges, which I thought was, double, triple, quadruple jeopardy. But everything we think we know about the justice system is turning out to be a farce. It is turning out to be not too hot. It's not that hot out today, but I guess the sun beating down on it makes it do that. So I hope we're back. It appears we're back again. Thank you for sticking with it, Patriots. There's a lot to cover. So we were talking about David Valentine. Prayers up for David Valentine, man. We got to keep our brothers and sisters in this battle in prayer, for sure, for sure. Another thing that hit us yesterday was we got some bad news from Silly for Him, man. The doctors have done some tests on her. All right, Tammy, are we back on now? Are we streaming now? Because it appears I'm streaming right now from here. Let me try a chat. I hate this stuff. All right, we're back. We're back. Yes. All right. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, we got some bad news from Silly for Him, man. I'm praying diligently. There are medical issues that she's been dealing with for almost 20 years now, ever since 9/11, when she was at the location in New York City there, helping with the first responders throughout that whole ordeal, and she has had horrible health issues ever since then, man. Silly for Him is an amazing patriot. Her family has patriot blood for sure. Goes all the way back to the founding of this country, and we're praying hard for her. And this is a time where we gotta just get back into our spirituality here. learning how to appeal to God for the issues that the tribulations that we're going through right now. Everybody is going through this. It's amazing. I've just been through an ordeal it's unfathomable what I just had to endure down in DC. But it is minuscule compared to what all the J6ers are dealing with in the prison, what David's about to probably go through here. Just if you were a J6 and you haven't been arrested yet, this is hanging over your head every day, and it gets into your mind, and it can just, it's just not a good thing to live with day to day. So, but there's lots of ways to appeal to God here, and fasting is one of them. I recommend you guys try it. I'm delving into it right now, and we just got to get closer to our God, and that's a promise in the scriptures. Those who seek him will find him, and that's where we're at. That's where we're at, and that's where I know all you guys are at too. So prayers up for David Valentine, for silly for him. Another downer yesterday was Jeremy Brown, the patriot from Florida, who's been in prison in Florida for a couple of years now, who the FBI tried to recruit as a narc to infiltrate right-wing groups, and he said no. He had it all on tape and video and audio recordings, and he blew the whistle, and they went after him, threw him in prison. He had to get, there were some charges he has to answer to in Washington, D.C. They went through a bunch of legal maneuvers to try to have all that argued down in Florida. He had a Zoom court call the other week, a week or two ago, and got rejected. So now they have moved him into the DC gulag. He is there right now, and he's in solitary confinement, as everybody that is entered into the gulag is. And I'm gonna cool off the phone here, a little bit of water. He's in the gulag right now, and he is being told that there is no J6 pod in the DC gulag. Now, we know for a fact that there is a J6 pod there, and there's a reason why there's a J6 pod there. Oh, Dev for Freedom, thank you. Here's an update from Dev for Freedom, man. He definitely needs encouragement, for sure. Let me post that. Thank you, Dev for Freedom. That's a link to looks like a Rumble channel. Now, Jeremy has been heavily involved with social media the whole time he's been incarcerated. He has a gal named Tylene that has a Rumble channel, and she has been posting stuff almost on a weekly basis. I think it's more like monthly. Thank you for that information, Deb. And his plight, this whole thing that's been going on for over 2 years with him, and it's just sick how anybody that sticks their neck out to blow the whistle on government corruption and shady practices by our government. And here Jeremy was blowing the whistle on FBI investigating Americans, which they're not supposed to be doing, that they get attacked by the DOJ. Now you're in a fight for your freedom in a corrupted court system. Everything gets fought down in DC in these courts, where if you pick a jury out, all the judges are Democrat. The jury pool is 95% Democrat. I have not seen one fair trial yet in Washington, D.C. Okay, J6 Vigils. Awesome. Okay. This was something else I was going to report on. There's a lot of vigils going on. There's one, so we got the D.C. Vigil going on tonight. There is the Northern Neck Patriots. They're down in Virginia. They're going to be doing their vigil tonight also. They do one every night from Virginia on Fridays. They do one every Friday night from down in Virginia. That is called Northern Neck Patriots. That's their YouTube channel. There's also going to be a vigil on Saturday from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, with Roy Bunger and Tina McCoy. And here Deb for Freedom is reporting that Tylene will be calling into that vigil at 1:50. Well, no, the vigil goes from 1:50 or so, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That channel is called J6 Vigils, and subscribe to them, and then we'll get word on the latest scoop on Jeremy Brown's plight, man. Jeremy is an amazing patriot, a decorated war veteran, as are many of the J6ers, and we're just seeking justice here. When will we get justice? It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And then we got the out in California, there's going to be an LA vigil on Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that would be from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from California Patriots live streams. That is some wonderful Patriots that were just at the Freedom Corner a couple of weeks ago for their second visit there. They sat in on a couple of J6 trials. They live streamed from the corner there, and they helped me out tremendously with my plight with the court system down in DC, and I really appreciated their support, man. That is for sure. So lots of vigils going on. We're rolling, Patriots, okay? So like yesterday, when we had such a downer day yesterday, it's hard to forget our victories, but we have many, many victories all around the place. So in addition to the 5 gut punches we got yesterday, there have been 6 new arrests last week for J6ers. A guy named Dylan Swinehart from Florida got arrested. A guy named Thomas Hodo from Washington State got arrested. A guy named William Christopher Lyon from Texas arrested. A Russian immigrant, Anatoly Anatolovich from Virginia got arrested. John Walter Clark from Texas got arrested, and Donald Ross Workman from Virginia got arrested. So if that's not proof that this DOJ is still going gangbusters, in addition to David Valentine, they're still going gangbusters. And one of the things that we're being made aware of now is that this J6 prosecution is a machine down in Washington, D.C. that was put into action to go after J6ers, but they're not stopping there. They're not stopping there. They are busting whistleblowers, throwing them in jail. They're busting social media people. They're busting journalists. They're busting the abortion clinic protester people. It is a machine that is up and running. They're busting religious people that attend school board meetings. Man, I hope you guys can hear me. There's a lot of traffic noise here, but unfortunately, this is the shady side of the truck. So I hope you're going to all hear me pretty good. I can talk louder if it needs to be louder. So with all these arrests going on, it's not slowing down at all. And we got the 1512 issue, the felony 1512 charge that they've been holding over these guys to like a sledgehammer, holding a 20-year felony over these guys' heads to intimidate them into taking plea deals, has been reversed by the Supreme Court. Yet nobody has been reevaluated, resentenced on any of those issues yet. And one of the first cases to go into court is DJ Robertson. He will be having a resentencing, I believe, this week or next. DJ Robertson was sentenced to 87 months in prison because he was found guilty of that 1512 charge. There needs to be a resentencing because that was reversed by the Supreme Court. And we're praying for a good outcome there. But they're just going to switch the 1512 charge with another charge without going to a grand jury to determine if that other charge is suitable for the alleged crime that DJ Robertson did. Another patriot just getting bamboozled. 87 months in prison this guy got, man. Okay, here we got another link. Thank you, Silly for Him. You can't keep Silly for Him down. Look at her go, man. Unbelievable, Silly. We're praying for you. Can't keep her down, though. We got a country to save here. DC Gulag Podcast with John Mellis and Edward Badalian on, looks like a Rumble channel there, man. John Mellis, one of the awesome patriots from early individual days, was calling us on a daily basis out there. Singing the national anthem every night at 9 o'clock in prison. Hasn't lost faith in his country. These guys are outstanding patriots, and one of the reasons this could be happening on God's plan is to bring these guys into the national limelight, into the front and center of America, to make us understand the type of people that FJB administration, that rigged election in 2020 has gotten us into. And we had the whole DNC convention, the whole Democrat National Convention that just ended last night, on display right in your face. It was so hard to stomach all of that stuff. But what a joke. And then they were hyping up all the counter protests outside that event. It was theater, people. Nothing happened there. There was not very much violence. The counter protesters were a joke. I watched Chicago police escort a guy with a flag out of there. Get out of here, guy. Hey, there's a guy with the American flag in here. Get him out of here. That's what's going on in Chicago right now. That, of course, has ended today. I can't imagine any of the pathetic fools that went down there to catch something on live streams or whatever. What a waste of time. What a waste of money. You just all been had by the Democrat Party, by Kamala Harris, and by FJB. You just been had. You've been played. Wake up. Wake up. The vigil last night, we got phone calls from Sean Dennison. He sang his Kamala, the communist jingle with the J6 choir again last night. He also sang another song. So in the middle, yesterday, I was down. And I tuned into the J6 vigil and was just so uplifted. Because here's this J6er in prison singing, man. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. Benjamin Burlew was reading Psalms 23 for us. What do we got here? James O'Keefe confronts Act Blue staff at DNC convention over false donations. Okay, there's all kinds of fraud. James O'Keefe went in undercover. I suppose a lot of that's going to be coming out now. Check that stuff out. All right, Cleo, flying that J6 flag out the front window. Awesome patriot. Benjamin Burlew, another awesome testimony from inside the prison, man. How he's relying on God to get him through this, man. And his message was stand firm on the word of God. It's amazing. It was bringing tears to my eyes last night, man. Benjamin Burlew, we just got to meet his wife, Brandy, and their 2 young children at the corner 2 weeks ago. Brandy got home safely. We prayed the tornado away from her neighborhood on her way home. Here it is, the tribulation. Brandy leaves home, comes to D.C. On her way home, there's tornadoes ripping through her neighborhood. And we get to stand up and pray for our brothers and sisters. And God answers our prayers. Man. But Benjamin made us aware that Brandy is going to be testifying to Congress on September 9th pertaining to issues about the J6 thing. So there is still this very slow-moving investigation into the J6 committee sham led by Barry Loudermilk and I can't remember the other guy's name. But we do got a couple of great politicians that are fighting for us in D.C. They are immensely outnumbered, though. But they are moving forward with it, no matter how hard it is. just how hard it is for Freedom Corner warriors to stand on that corner every single night and live in that stench hole, D.C. We got representatives that are working in that sewer that we have in this country, in the Capitol right now. So it's repugnant, it's repulsive, it's vile, a vile environment down there. And but they are standing. So pray for the patriots that are down there, that are fighting for us, and that we can keep it going. And we need to donate money. We need to write letters. We have to give support, emotional, financial, all kinds of support. Any way that you can jump into this battle, the better, patriots. What else here, man? And in the chat, man, the chat was just so uplifting too. Metal is joy. Put in a verse there, Psalms 37:40. I looked that up afterwards. That was uplifting. We got word that Big O Barnett needs some commissary. He's in a low place there in the prison. He was sentenced to a lengthy prison sentence. He's the dude to put his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk, and they whacked him with a couple of years in prison for that, you know. That's the way it goes down there. Okay, I don't know if we're spinning or not here. Okay. And then we got a call from Jonathan Pollock, as we do every night, and Joseph Hutchinson with a Bible verse, with a singing the national anthem there from the prison, and also a quote from our forefathers. Every night they're coming up with another quote from the founding fathers of this country, and all of them are pointing out the fact that this government will work for a moral society, and what we don't have anymore is a moral society. It's just not. We've lost our way. Our churches have split us up into a million pieces. None of the Christian churches are agreeing with each other, and they're not standing together. Our government gave them tax-free status, and they're all scared of losing that. That was proven during the pandemic, when they came in and closed the churches but didn't shut down the liquor stores or the stripper clubs or they shut down all that good stuff and didn't shut down the stuff that will continue to corrupt people. It's so obvious, so obvious. But Trump derangement syndrome is chronic. It's a chronic condition there. But then at the very end of the night, we got good news. They got nail clippers and haircuts. So right on, man. It took a mass phone call. We just started listing our representatives in D.C. to, for crying out loud, just get these guys some nail clippers so they don't gotta chew their nails off in the shower, which is what they were told to do, which is unhuman. We're dealing with demonic activity. We also got a call this was, so all that was from Wednesday Vigil, I think. Thursday Vigil, we got calls from Jonathan Copeland. Happiness is a choice. Reading from his daily devotional. He's got a daily devotional. All right, Tina. Yeah, we just reported that Tylene's going to be calling in about Jeremy Brown at your vigil on Saturday, tomorrow, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Yeah, we got it posted. Jonathan Copeland mentioned that he's got a daily devotional he's been reading that's been written by prisoners that have been incarcerated, man, who have served time, which is amazing, man. And out of that devotional, the message yesterday was that happiness is a choice. We also got a call from Dominic Box and Sean Dennison again, singing a tune. Amazing patriots. Okay, so on to other things here. The DNC ended last night with Kamala's speech where she said their fake applause and fake joy lasted for, I don't know, 5 minutes when she walked out on stage. It almost made me puke. It's unbelievable. She said thank you, I don't know, what, 50, 60, 70 times before she even got started with the speech. They've programmed her now to not do her ridiculous laugh. She didn't come out with any policy that she's going to do. She told us all about her family. She thanked Joe Biden. Anything but policy. And she mentioned how bad Trump is. They have no program. They have no agenda. Their agenda is to destroy America and you, and destroy Christianity from this world, from this country, from this world. They are satanic people. The earlier you can come to that realization, the better, because you'll realize how much in peril we are right now in this country, man. Hey, Tamara Root, hello. Hi, Kathy Smith. Yes, we reported on David Valentine earlier. He turned himself in. He was released and is at home right now with his son, who is turning 1 year old, I think, either this weekend or the next. Unbelievable satanic activity going on all over the place. So I did hear that David Valentine made a post somewhere. I'm not on Facebook or Twitter, so David Valentine has put information out. But the DNC ended yesterday. Everybody was like out there live streaming to see what kind of violent protest was going to happen. It was a nothing burger. It just cost the city of Chicago millions and millions of dollars to host that. I don't think they made any money. Turns out the governor of Illinois owns the hotel that all the people stayed at there. It's just a degenerate society of people. All right, so today is a different story, man. Today, we got good news all over the place. I waited all morning to hear what RFK was going to say. RFK Jr. has been under lawfare from the Democrat Party. Robert Kennedy Jr. is a Democrat, and his father was a Democrat, and his uncle, John F. Kennedy, was a Democrat, okay? They are the Democrat Party, you could say. He wanted to run for president. The DNC, the Democrat National Committee, kept him off of the ballot during the primaries, okay? How about that for democracy, huh? They just wouldn't allow him on the ticket. So he declared that he was going to run for president as an independent, okay? Since then, he has to go around and get signatures, and every state has requirements to get on the ballot for the presidential run, and they're huge accomplishments. You have to get millions of signatures in all the states altogether. And the DNC, if he came up short anywhere, the DNC has filed lawsuits against him. I know for sure here in Pennsylvania, especially the battleground states, Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, I think, filed lawsuits against RFK Jr. So how about that for democracy? They believe in democracy so much that they're going to hire lawyers, spend millions of dollars to keep another Democrat off the ballot in November. They don't want him running for president. So RFK Jr. came to his rope's end, I think, lately. He just lost a case here in Pennsylvania. He was not going to get on the Pennsylvania ballots. And he came out with an announcement today where he said that he is going to join forces with President Trump. He is not going to remove he's not stopping running for president, but he is going to voluntarily remove himself from the ballot in the battleground states, which are the states that I just mentioned. Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, and Wisconsin. He's going to remove himself off of the ballot in those states so that he does not become a spoiler, is the way he worded it. Now, this speech by Robert Kennedy Jr. was a watershed speech. I highly recommend you guys go listen to it. He is a Democrat. He is the Democrat Party to the core. And what he did is he had a nutshell digest of what has happened to the Democrat Party. He totally dissed Kamala. He said they don't stand for democracy whatsoever. They wage warfare on people. They have twisted the Department of Justice and other government agencies to attack people in this country with. Oh, wow, Cleo. I didn't see David in chat last night on Troopers. Okay, so David's out there, man. I hope we're praying. I'll be looking for you in the chat tonight. All right, here, Silly for Him's got the link. RFK officially endorses Trump, formally announces he will partner with Trump's administration, okay? So what I see happening here is a dream team forming, all right? President Trump, Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, Robert Kennedy Jr. are coming together to form an amazing dream team for this country. RFK Jr. would be awesome if he was gonna go after Fauci and the CDC or the FDA. He's talking about the FDA in his speech and how we are literally feeding our children poisons that are allowed by the Food and Drug Administration to be sold in this country, okay? He would be against the CDC and the vaccine mandates that they've been putting out and the false information that they have been declaring throughout our country since the pandemic came out. I wouldn't want to put Robert Kennedy Jr. with the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, though, because he believes that we should be disarmed. He is not a Second Amendment fan. He is a climate change warrior. He thinks the climate is controlled by the amount of taxes the government taxes us with. I wouldn't want him in charge of certain things, but man, when you come to those topics about Fauci and about the CIA and political persecution in our justice system against Americans, RFK Jr. is top-notch candidate for fighting against that stuff, man. Yes, how about that, silly? CNN and MSNBC mute RFK's press conference, yes, when he spoke out about fake news, and then lo and behold, on Fox News, they cut his speech right when he started getting into the American Medical Association and the pharma companies. So we know who's funding that, and Fox News, you are compromised. I'm not watching you anymore. And for all you people that like still watching Fox, and you like this guy Gutfeld, President Trump called Gutfeld last night, and look at the indignities that he put Trump through. He called him Mr. P. I just don't understand it, why you people are still watching Gutfeld, man. The only guy on Fox News that will speak his mind is Jesse Waters, I think. He is like Tucker Carlson, and there's going to come a day when Jesse's going to have to part ways to look himself in the mirror in the morning with Fox News. Fox News will draw a line for Jesse Waters, and he will end up leaving just like Trump or just like Tucker Carlson did. And it will be a good thing for Jesse. And he's a great journalist, just like Tucker Carlson is. And Tucker Carlson's popularity and influence exploded as soon as he left Fox News. So I'm not a fan of Gutfeld and his little show that he has. The issues this country is facing isn't a comedy show. It is not funny in the least, and I do not agree with that show that they got on there with Gutfeld, man. I see right through that, man. Yet I saw right through that back in 2010. Okay, Fox News even back then was compromised, but I still watched Tucker, because Tucker was putting out worthy journalism on Fox News. So we got to find them. We got to see where they are. But the other ones, Hannity and that chick and Gutfeld, man, sorry, man, I can't get on board with that guy. And then when he got that phone call from Trump and called him Mr. P, I just thought it was ridiculous. And the audience couldn't even shut up to listen to what Trump was saying over the phone. To take the president's phone call on a live show like that was just a mistake, man. Was not cool. It was, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It lowered his dignity, I think. We got to protect our really smart people. Yeah, Fox, there's the link. So Fox News cuts off Trump on the interview. So get on board with the real patriots who are putting out the real news, okay? It's becoming obvious. Word out on his Rumble and his website and on X. Elon Musk is going to protect that free speech over there, and Elon is spitting truth everywhere that he gets on. He has given that platform of X over to free speech. There are still internal problems at X. There are still internal problems at Rumble. But right now, Rumble and X are the two best options we have for getting real information, where the lies and deceit of the Satanists in this world doesn't stick to the wall in those two venues there. Then Trump spoke from Las Vegas, I believe it was, on the no tax on tips policy. So Trump is out there every day giving whole speeches on just one aspect of his policy, and that policy is no tax on tips, and also no tax on Social Security benefits that you're receiving. Who can't get behind that? Who can't get behind that, man? Kamala Harris and FJB just hired 80,000 new IRS agents to come after people that weren't paying tax on tips and try to declare that you should have to pay a minimum of your wage, no matter whether you made those tips or not. You should have to pay a percentage of your wage in addition to your wage on taxes. Totally ridiculous. Yet here we got copycat Kamala coming out saying no tax on tips. You know, she's insane. She's demonic. All right, God is blessing me with a good network here. Right on, Tamara, right? You see it? You see it? A whole speech in Nevada. And then Trump has yet to speak again in, I think he's going to Arizona, and I think that RFK Jr. is going to meet him in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on this, but that's upcoming yet tonight. Yesterday, Trump went down to the border and spoke about his border policy. He gave two speeches yesterday, one from the border, and I can't even remember where the other one was from yesterday. So, yes, there's an event down there at Bedminster, September 5th, for the J6 choir guys. Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. I think Jamie Crow's going down there. All right, so combine all these good news with the fact that we got channels, man. We all got YouTube channels. We got Jamie Crow going all over the place. We got Stormtrooper and Sherry and Nicole and Rebecca holding down the corner in D.C. We got California Patriots out on L.A. doing flag waves and doing vigils at the L.A. prison where the J6ers are there. We got Northern Neck Patriots down in Virginia fighting that prison. Getting ready for lawsuits against the corruption that was going on in that prison there that got exposed when they put a bunch of J6ers, tried to hide a bunch of J6ers in there. We got the Lewisburg Patriots on J6 Vigils channel getting word out to us direct from Jeremy Brown and from Tylene, who's going to report on that tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We got a network now that did not exist 2 years ago, Patriots. And that is a beautiful thing. And these are the victories that uplift me now. After a low day like that yesterday, and we forget God's hand is with us all here, and that we are winning. We're winning, okay? The opposition is getting splintered up right now. We had Democrats protesting Democrats over at the DNC in Chicago. We saw that opposition at Freedom Corner disintegrate. You know, not one of them people, they all can't stand each other again. They can't get together and counter-protest us at the corner anymore because they hate each other. And where are they now, you know? Their networks didn't explode. They all don't have YouTube channels. They're all splintered up. Because they're a bunch of big egos, a bunch of ballooned up egos on that side, you know? That's what's going on with them. So we gotta count our blessings. Definitely gotta count our blessings, America. And sometimes I forget about that. And God reminded me of that today. Let's get a hold of our spiritual power, how to pray to God, how to honor Him, get back to the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments weren't nailed to a cross and taken away, all right? If you're going to a church that's preaching that nonsense, get out of it, because that is the whore of Babylon right there. God's law does not disappear, okay? God's law is an example. God's law, God's word is His law. It came and lived here in the flesh. Jesus observed every law that God made prior to His arrival here on this planet. Take a look at your churches that you're going to. Get hooked up with one that preaches the Bible, that preaches the blood of Christ, and just get closer to it. Pray for enlightenment. God will reveal Himself to those who seek Him, okay? But you have to diligently seek Him. You can't watch the Temptation of Christ movie and think you're hooking up with God, okay? That's from Hollywood. That's a movie about Christ that came from Hollywood, okay? It's fake. It's a movie. It's actors. You can't watch a movie and get close to God. You got to read the Word yourself. You have to pray before you open the book, that you will get enlightenment, that you will be able to see and discern what God wants you to know. There's layer upon layer upon layer. You can read the same book 7 times in a row and get 7 different, be made aware of 7 different levels and things that God wants you to know about, you know. Oh, right on, Tina. Howard Richardson's called in. That is amazing, man. Howard Richardson, what an outstanding patriot that guy is. And what he just had to go through, and what the Lord's hand on him allowed him to endure is incredible. Him and his wife is unbelievable torture that our government put Howard Richardson through is it's demonic. The demons, the Satan is operating through our government right now against us. So if you want to learn, you know, what the silver bullet is to win this, get close to God, get close to the scriptures. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all for just uplifting us yesterday in the chat, especially me. I couldn't even chat anymore. I was just so down, man. And in addition to that, yesterday, here's how I started my day off yesterday. The kids are playing in the neighborhood, in the street, right? And you go driving down the street. And, you know, when you come up on the street to the kids playing, you slow way down and they get off the street and then they come back in after you drive through. That's what we even did that, right? I go driving past these like 10-year-old kids, and one of these kids whips a football at my truck. And, so then that was how I started my day yesterday. What am I going to do about it? I'm not going to do anything about it. You know, whatever. The kid, you know, but he better not whip a ball at my dad's car, you know, or something. Or I'm going to see them out walking. I'm going to see their parents out walking in the neighborhood tonight and probably, you know, say something to them or something. But I mean, it's everywhere. We gotta shield our children. We gotta raise them up right. Our grandkids. If you got grandkids, try to step in where you can. Their parents are scrambling because of the way this world is right now. It takes 2 people working their asses off in order to, support a family and a house payment and all this. So they're under attack. We need to come together as a family, as Christian families, and just, if you got time, jump in where you can and try to help out, man. Wow, Tina, that's awesome, the work that you and Roy are doing out there. And that was really cool. You got the Freedom Corner, finally. But you just saw it firsthand, how that air of repression is on you. As soon as you drive into that city, man, you can feel it, you can breathe it, you can smell it. It is an air of oppression. They got demonic architecture When did they start deciding to build that stuff down there? I mean, that wasn't George Washington and stuff. George Washington didn't condone the Washington Monument. The Washington Monument is a phallic symbol for Moloch or one of them guys. I mean, we got to get real, patriots. We got to get real. That thing's got to come down. God isn't going to bless this country as long as that Washington Monument is standing. I mean, that's got to get torn down. All this talk by the DNC about joy was invented by the German Labor Front as a tool to promote the advantages of Nazism to the German people. How about that? What a dig that is, silly. How about that? Wasn't it weird how they all were so joyful? And then how, like, Oprah Winfrey, somebody worth $3 billion with a $500 million real estate portfolio, is talking about financial oppression for minorities. The hypocrisy, you can cut it with a knife, man. That's amazing, silly. Right out of the socialist and the communist handbook, these people are. Right in front of everybody. And they can't see it. They hate Trump. Trump derangement syndrome has altered their brains, man. They can't see this. Joy by strength. Wow. So you can just fake joy so much that it becomes power? I don't get it. They said your joy doesn't come from God, it comes from the government. Well, yeah, right. Their God is the government. Their God is the power. And really what it is they're all selfish. They want the power. And they think if they join the club, they'll get the power. But really, they're all going to be slaves. They're all slaves. They're slaves of joy. Sean has been giving food to the homeless. Yeah, give him a thumbs up, man. He's live streaming. He's found out where he can get like food that they're ready to throw out at stores down in Chicago, and he's going around giving it to the homeless people. Sean himself is going through a really hard time with homelessness, and he's out there live streaming. He's trying to find where to fit in, where he can jump in, how he can get himself back into a home. He just brought us an amazing event in Illinois, in Woodstock, Illinois, last weekend. That cost him $90 to get there. Sean's an amazing patriot, man. He's a unique dude, but he's an amazing patriot. And David and I know that well because we got to live with him in D.C. for a couple of weeks. God bless you, Sean, if you're in here, buddy. Sean has also arranged for us to get on a Chicago radio station now every day, every week, Thursday. I got the details now. Every week, Thursday, 8:30 to 10:30 Central Time on, let me look up the radio station here. Where did I write that down? Okay, in the Chicagoland area, there's a radio station called WLBK. There's a guy named Jim who does a show every Thursday from 8:30 to 10:30 Central Time. And he is interested in, he's a conservative, but he's open to getting information about J6. So we were able to call into him a week or two ago with some and clued him in on some J6 information, and he is open for us to be calling him again in the future on that. So Sean opened up that avenue for us. So here we are. Everyone is jumping in where he sees where he can make some influence, and we're making headway. We have things to rejoice about. We have victories. We are winning. The dream team is coming together. Imagine this, man. Trump wins that election. He's got the apprentice, J.D. Vance, coming up behind him. We got Elon Musk. We got Tucker Carlson. We got JFK Jr. joining on the team here now. It's coming together, Patriots. It's going to be biblical. and it's going to be glorious. I can't wait for our 250th anniversary of this beautiful republic, the United States of America, which is coming up in 2025. Will be our 250th anniversary. So thanks for sticking with it, Patriots. It has its ups and it's got its downs, man. We just got to roll with it. God's got this. We look to Him for our safety, our encouragement, our courage, and He is all powerful and He will deliver. He promises that salvation. So thanks for sticking with me, Patriots. I'm going to get out of here right now. I'll see you in the chats tonight from Freedom Corner, and let's just continue to keep moving forward. God bless you. This is Jericho, over and out.